Because what I'm getting at is that the children, the youth that are present and that are here and that are on their way are not coming on their way to be an extra laborer in your business. They're not there for that. They can be that, but they're not there for that. But they are there because they are going to answer someone's prayer along the way in their lives. Khalil Gibran, you may be familiar with his work. In his book, The Prophet, he gives a poem, a section on children. And it's probably one of the most profound understandings of the purpose of children and the purpose of life itself. In it, he says, "And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, 'Speak to us of children.' And he said, 'Your children are not your children.'" Let me say that again, because take a deep breath. What you talking about, Rev? Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And they are with you, yet they belong not to you. Something bigger that is going on. It's something more than just the physical birth of a human being. There's a spiritual being. There's a spiritual element that is going on, that is taking place in this unfoldment that is bigger than you and I. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. Let me time out on this one, because in my household, growing up, and in my household now, when my children are feeling themselves and ready to take us on and say, "How come we can't have bigger rights in this household?" And of course, the answer is always, because it's my household. When it's your household, then you can have all the rights you want. And that has been something that that has been passed down through the generations. Perhaps you've had that experience as well. It's like, when you get your own place, when you get your own place, you can make the rules. But here, spiritually speaking, that does not apply. You may house their bodies, correct, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. Let me say that one more time. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. They have their own agenda that has been divinely commissioned. You get that? For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. So, who are we in all this? Are we just babysitters? I know that I see that look on your face for the adults that are in the room. Am I just a babysitter? No, you're more than that. You play an integral part in the unfoldment, in the training up of our youth. And this is a great way to describe it. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite. He bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Now, let me say that in a 21st century way. God bends you with God's might that God's arrows may go swift and far. So let your bending in the archer's hand, who's the archer? God. In the archer's hand, be for gladness. For even as God loves the arrow that flies, so God loves also the bow that is stable. Ours is to be the stable bow, ever understanding that God has given us the honor to send forth the arrow pointing to victory into our future. To send forth that blessing that our children are toward the fulfillment of their true purpose on this earth. That is ours to do, not just as a parent or a guardian, but as a village and a community. Whenever we see our young people, look them in their eyes. Ask them questions about who they feel they are and what's in their hearts to be and to do. And let's be intentional about bending our bows to send them forth to do the work that they have come here to do. In the name